All right, as promised from the previous video, upon request from some commenters, subscribers, some Enochian used in more standard ritual practice. These are single line incantations. Since I got two up on this is page 113, page 114 of Language of Angels, A Tai De Elohim, the hardcover. Hyacinth's Pillars is a series. We'll start out here with this consecrated tarot deck. Now, you can do consecration in the tarot deck in different items, talismans and charms and amulets and everything. You could do it. You can, burn incense, light a little small fire, and position, move the smoke, fan the smoke over it, or position it such that you can move it around in the direction where the wind moves the smoke over the object. You could do summonings. You could summon. You can have other objects, other magical objects involved in consecration. Consecration is there's so much to it. Such a broad activity, so many ways and styles. This is the Enochian incantation. Just repeated like 3 times. You just say it like 3 times. Let's see what we got here. It has been a minute since I've looked at these because I cast circles only under during certain types of things. I don't cast them all the time. And as far as concentrated tarot deck, well, I haven't bought a new tarot deck since the beginning of the year. So it's going to be 8 months since I've looked at these, probably. Yeah. Starting out with consecrate tarot deck. You have the first word here. Starts out with an E. It's got a P. You've got a hypercritical mark, and then a PUVU. So that hypercritical mark is going to have that sound, that absent character phonetic. That it's a little additional. It goes on the end of most common words, common terms. Again, it's not on names. It's not added to names or anything like that. Or when you're counting with the numbers, C, D, R, Ace, V, T, He, so on. So it's kind of an abbreviated sound, as I mentioned in the last video. Epe, epe, epe puvue, epe puvue, epe puvue, not an extra oo on there. Epe puvue, epe puvue. I was adding an extra sound on there, extra letter. It's not there. Epe puvue, ruzoe, voe rotue. Zue orsie, epe puvue, bruzoe, voe rotue, zue orsie, epe puvue, ruzoe, voe rotue, zue orsie. There we go. With the Enochian, a lot of times, it's to the point, and again, as I mentioned in the previous videos, the Enochian words express and contain like you take the zodiac, you take fixed sign, divine sign, so like Taurus or Leo or so on. So you have the fixed signs of the zodiac, but there's other ways of saying fixed. Divine, fixed, certainly. Divine wisdom, fixed. It is what it is, and it changes not. It is of the one source. It changes not. So it could be. You can have an Enochian term, especially a compounded Enochian term like this first one, that encapsulate several things, divine, fixed, and so on and so forth. And it's good, I think, when you do this, to have an old tarot deck uh, on the table. If you have one. If you don't. Uh, if you have an old tarot deck, lay it on the table, on the altar, wherever you're doing this. And you have the new one in front of you. You can use a pendulum. You can do incense, smoke, as I mentioned before. There's lots of ways of doing a consecration ritual. But I like to have an old tarot deck on the table and draw energy. And it's a consecration in proximity to a deck that's been used, a deck that's is very consecrated because it's been in the process. And this is like a declaration of the process, the beginning of the process. This is like an announcement. Consecration with this Enochian here, it's kind of like a magical announcement. And it's to attune and align. It's an attunement. It's what's going on here. These are execute command, attunement, in a sense. And it goes with this casting circle. Casting circle, this is it's whenever you do you have your ritual tools and you're going to cast a circle. This goes along with the in the mind's eye, a sphere, and you're in the sphere. The circle represents a 2-dimensional of 3-dimensional sphere of a 5-dimensional place it's. So this is kind of galvanizes that energetically around you. So let's start out here with this compound word, DOAS, hypercritical ZUV. So doase zuve, posue ezeabai. Now, here with this first hypercritical mark, second word, POSU, hypercritical, we have a stem starting here. The second stem is EZ. I've written about and talked about how this varies. This is a small detail. It's a small nuance, but people tune into these videos to hear about this, which is good. And thanks for everybody who's watched and subscribed. Awesome. This words that start with E, unless it's the first word of a piece, or stems in a compound word that have an E, you do not do like the hypercritical. You default to that phonetic. You default. So So in this case, with this hypercritical, posue ze abai would be a proper way of saying it. It would be a correct way of saying it. Posue za, posue ze abai. As has it, that's putting both of them. That's the absent character sound after the U, and the first character, the E there. So it doubles it up. Now that's I've written about it. It's a more proper way if you just default to that E character sound and just ignore that hypercritical. So it would be posue eze abai. Posue eze abai would be a more proper way of doing it. It would not be horrible if a person did go across that hypercritical mark and added the absent character phonetic sound in there, and so it was doubled up. But posue ze abai, posue eze abai, ogume by. See, it's this second stem with the OGUM, and then the second stem EBA. I'm doing it again, and but now if that was a different character, if it was an I instead of an EBA, it was an IBA, then it would be Ogume Ibai. But it is Ogume Bai, and then we have this difficult C in here. With C's, I have to do pendulum divination just to make sure that it's instead of a C sound like on the open C, that it is more, it is, you know, it's going to be a C sound, but but you have the CH of a champion, like champion, CH. So it'd be do ase zuve, po su eze abai, ogume bai, ne risi ziviue, oro vitoe. I'll try this again. That was pretty smooth for even to say so myself. Do ase zuve, po su eze abai, ogume bai, ne risi ziviue, oro vitoe. Yeah, that's about anything close to that, proximal to that. It's going to be just fine. But you just incorporate this into your movements when you're casting your circle, and it's not difficult. You can memorize this after reading over it 20, 30 times or more. It's probably take memorizing is not it doesn't come like your native language. It takes a little effort to and practice. But thanks for checking out the video, and there will be more of these. There will be more of these coming along.